Driven human beings are going to always feel like they're behind. They're going to always feel like they're not doing good enough. They're going to always feel like they're not far enough. They're going to always feel like you're losing. Look, winning, this is how it feels. 90% of the time, you're going to feel like you're getting your balls kicked in. All right? 8% of the time, you're going to be confused and you're frustrated. 2% of the time, you actually win. And those moments come and go, and then you're back in the 90%. And that's the reality of a winner's life.
Y'all want it today. I got a ring. Chris, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. Pop, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. Little, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. Boss, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. I'm telling you right now, it's the best feeling in the world. If it's on me today, you gonna have one after this. If it's on you today, you gonna have one after this. All day. Is it on you? Is it on you? All day. All day. That's enough said right
When
there.
you want it now, it drives you crazy to be patient. And I know that's super frustrating. However, that is the rules of the game. It still takes time. Most people will get to feeling how you feel right now, and what they'll say is, I need to do something else. And then what ends up happening by default, they end up spending their whole life in that nether region of nothing, because they can't make it through the distance from start to, the upward rise of success. And they see it as something that they're doing wrong, and then they quit to find something new, bro, and they spend their whole life in the struggle. Just keep that in mind, dude. It might be frustrating right now. However, if you continue to go, you're going to figure it out. So, and it sounds like you already know this, dude. You just need to be reminded.
A man who's so driven that he won't look back anymore. I fall in love with this man because he was different. He was himself. He never cared about other people's opinions. He made things work. That's the kind of man I'm looking for. He who builds, he who creates, he who shares, he who lets the world see who he really is. The beauty of him is that I know who fears. He fears the unknown, but even that, he still takes action and throws himself. That's the man I'm looking for. That's the man I want to take me, because I know he will build an empire.
Do you ever wonder why some people seem to just know they're going to succeed, long before anything around them actually shows it? It's not arrogance or delusion. It's something far deeper. It's that powerful moment when your inner world starts whispering to your outer world what's coming. You might not have the money yet, the position, the connections, but somehow your energy begins moving like someone who already does.
There comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else. They didn't have what you had. Yet now they've become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out. Or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, when your wife and kids run your ass because you don't have support anymore. There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove. But being mediocre, being like average is just burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your ass, and you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out, but you've never wanted to unwrap it because there's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something hits. You get fired, or somebody else gets success, reminds you what could have been, and then the spark is born.
That quiet confidence, that subtle readiness. That's not wishful thinking. It's your subconscious responding to a command. This psychological phenomenon is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. It means the beliefs you hold about yourself, especially the ones you rehearse mentally, don't just stay in your head. They begin shaping how you act, how you speak, and how you navigate your daily life. And those behaviors send a signal back to the world, which eventually adjusts to match the image you've been holding. If you believe you're meant to lead, you start speaking with more clarity. If you believe you're worthy of well, you stop playing small. Slowly, without forcing it, the world starts shifting to make room for the version of you you've been walking toward. That's why imagination isn't fantasy, it's instruction. When you vividly imagine a better life, you're not escaping reality, you're programming it. Your brain treats repeated imagination like rehearsal, and your body follows. The only thing left is consistency. Keep seeing it, keep feeling it. Let the life you see in your mind keep calling you, because one day you'll answer it in full.
And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they're willing to work their f***ing ass off to get it. It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It wasn't about the perseverance. And it wasn't about being the hardest worker in the room. But that's what got them there. And it didn't happen overnight. They got knocked down more than they ever got stood up. But they kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going, because what else is the alternative? To be average again. That sucks, man. And it really sucks when you've tasted success at one point in your life. When you go out and you train hard to play baseball and you connect and you hit the winning home run, you want to feel that way again. When we taste these finer things of life, all the pain, all the work, all the sacrifice to get them is well worth it. If anything, it's a small down payment for the price and the reward you got. And that's, once felt, how do you ever turn your back on it? Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always going to give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. That's all I'll ever find peace in. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days. If there's potential inside you, which you know is there, but you're too scared to tell anyone else about it, and you go on and on, get over and over and over and over, and the windows start turning into closed, and you knew it could have been given birth to, but you never did, I promise you, it will haunt you. It's a living nightmare, dude. That fact that you have the ability to do something and you're too weak to turn the key and start the engine on it, it's a greater disappointment and a greater burden to carry than any of this physical sweat equity or pain in the gym or sacrifice. All that is just nothing compared to a life where you're burdened by regret, guys. It doesn't matter about the past, it's today. What we're doing today, what we're going to engage now. And once we engage, we commit. There's no half commitment, there's no quarter commitment, there's no control, it's full commitment. Once we engage, it's every day we engage. Because that's the better life. It's your option now. What are you going to do? We're here to get stronger. In order to get stronger, we must fail. Accept that, know that who we are right now is not who we are, but where we are. We're going forward with believe in the difference you can be. Don't stop being average when your potential is trying to come outside of you more than that. Two forms of pain. Pain that breaks you and the pain that changes you. That's the pain of the change. That's the pain of progress. The pain that destroys you isn't this shit. It's later in life knowing you could have been more. And all that's left is you and your tears of a possibility left. Are you allowed to die? Hold your blood, guys. You had every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room. And all your endeavors, schoolwork, your gym, your career, your relationship, your name attached to it. It's gotta mean more than anything. That's your name. It's all you got. Don't sell out. That pain you feel, that's the pain of success. You must be willing to shoulder that pain to get success. Success is something that's a very lonely path in this world, because few are willing to make that down payment of pain for that future of success and better life. Very few are. And when you get the success, what comes with that is many that love you. From the majority will hate you for it. Because your success is a spotlight shining down on their missed opportunities, where they came up short, where they didn't quite have it inside, and never went back to revisit it. Where failure is what stood instead of improving failure for success. Failure is part of the recipe for success. You fail 1,000 times before you succeed. Every single person has. It's the losers that fail once and quit. Every winner has done failure. The loser and the winner both fail. It's just that the winner gets back up and does it again.
I'm going to take every single thing that someone says. I'm going to take every smart-ass remark. I'm going to take every eye roll. I'm going to take every comment of disbelief. And I'm going to remember who the fuck said it. I'm going to remember where I was when they said it. And I'm going to remember how it made me feel when they said it. And I'm going to take all of that shit and I'm going to put it up here in a huge fucking chip on my shoulder. And when I don't feel like going, and when I'm having a hard day, and when I would rather sit on my ass than do what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to think back to what those people said, or what they did, or them laughing, or them making fun of me. And I'm going to use that to push me into action. And people who don't get it, don't get it, all right? But I can tell you this, every fucking champion, every single one, all the greatest achievers have tremendous amounts of dark energy, and that's what they operate with.
Greatness is not a single act, but 1,000 small choices, repeated in the shadows, long before the spotlight ever finds you. You must strive to be 1% better every day until you find yourself in the 1%. The difference between the average and the exceptional is rarely talent. It is the discipline to improve by a fraction, even when no one is watching. 1%, so small it's almost invisible, so easy to dismiss. But compounded over days, months, years, it becomes the chisel that sculpts destiny. Understand that you compete only with yesterday's version of yourself, because the 1% is not a destination, it is a daily decision.
One of the hardest pills to swallow, big dog, is coming to the realization that you're the problem. It's nobody else, it's you. It's your self-destructive behavior, it's your vices, it's your negative thoughts. It all comes down to you. Once you can wake up, look in that mirror, and target all your weaknesses, and cut the heads of every single negative thing that holds you back in life. At the time in your life when you're finally gonna hit new levels, you're gonna reach new mountaintops, all because you're in control of you. You need to kill the old you, big dog, bury him in the ground, and be reborn again. Take back the life you know you're meant for.
Hesitation has ended more men than fear ever could. A man who hesitates gives ground. He gives advantage. He gives his enemies time to act while he stands still. The world does not pause for the uncertain. It moves, it shifts, it rewards the man who acts and buries the one who waits. In the end, there are only two kinds of men: those who hesitate and those who decide what happens next.
Every day I'm getting better. There are those of you with phones, and every new phone that comes out, you get it. Every upgrade, you get it. Every piece of software, you get it. You are upgrading your technology, and you're not upgrading yourself. You got the same operating system you had since 1995. You don't think any different, you don't speak any different. You're the exact same person you were in 2010. I challenge you to find one, I challenge you. I challenge you. The final one, I challenge you. You got 5 seconds, 4 seconds, I challenge you. Be obsessed with improvement. Be obsessed with improvement. Be obsessed with improvement. And like a lion, go from a gazelle to a lion. Why? Because if you don't kill it, then your family won't eat.
So to be in the 1%, become 1% better again and again until excellence is inevitable.
Destroy and create. Destroy and create. Destroy and create. Destroy and destroy and took action, created a project that he believed was great, but completely failed. He found himself in a position of shame. Everyone mocked his project. He couldn't understand. He took action. He made the hard work, but failed. In reality, he didn't fail. He started. That failure was the best thing it could ever happen to him, because now he knows he can get better. Will he? Will he come back from the pit of shame and embarrassment to try it again and do it better next time? Because now he has no motivation as he had before starting. Now he knows the truth. Maybe if he comes back from that place and never listens to his motivation again, never stops trying, he will become great. But only him will make that happen. Even if everyone laughs, even if he doesn't believe in himself, trying again will make him great. Because at the end, the only thing that matters is if he is willing to accept the fact that he is not perfect. And he will make mistakes. He will suck. He will question himself every single day. He will question whether his hard work and trying will work. People will ask him, where does he see himself 5 years from now? He will have no answer to that. Because he is not sure if everything he is doing now will become real. In that place of disorientation, of doubts, of discomfort, it's where he will find himself. He will find the answer that everyone is looking for in the safe path. Who am I? Is he willing to take the feedback of life to get better? Is he willing to not know what's going to happen with his life? Is he willing to be uncertain about his future? Is he willing to keep trying, even if there is no assured result on the other side? If he is, without realizing, he will be creating a landscape for success. Only if he throws himself to the unknown and never comes back.
You have the power to change. Change. No one will do it for you. It starts with you. So build your future and learn from your past. Nothing change if nothing change. Become the person you want.
The reason why most people can't win, the reason why most people are still broke, still soft, still average, still wanting more for their lives and can't figure out why it's not happening. It's not because they don't have all the tools. We live in the greatest age of information that's ever existed. It's because they are too scared to look stupid. That means that most people are willing to trade their entire lives, their dreams, their potentials, their income, everything, in order to not look stupid in front of who? In front of a whole bunch of motherfuckers that are never gonna do anything their entire lives. And that mindset is exactly why they will never, ever move from where they are.
Practice and practice and practice. Practice makes what? Absolutely not. Dismantle that belief system. Practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do.
No man escapes suffering. The only thing you control is when it finds you. The undisciplined avoid it now and find it waiting for them later. It shows up as regret, as weakness, as missed opportunities they can't get back. They convince themselves they've avoided the hard road until the bill comes due. The disciplined man suffers by choice. He carries the weight early. The early mornings, the hard days, the quiet sacrifices no one sees. They are not punishment. They are protection. Because pain is inevitable. The only question is whether it builds you now or breaks you later.
It's not a question of if you'll make it, but when. Tomorrow, next week, next month, 10 years, maybe 40. Your potential has never been in doubt. Your effort, however, is a different story. Every compromise is a delay. Every excuse is a detour. Every moment of settling pushes that inevitable success just a little further away. And you know it too. Those days where you tried, strived, did a little less because it felt like an off day, because that joint was right there, or that final episode just came out. Those are the days you push your time. The days you add 30 seconds, 30 minutes, 30 days to the countdown of your success. Every compromise is a delay. Every excuse is a detour. Every moment of settling pushes that inevitable success just a little further away. The clock is ticking, but you're the one controlling the speed. Your destiny isn't in question, but its arrival date, that's entirely in your hands. So stop pushing the timer and start pushing yourself, because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you.
Nobody who starts is ready, and that's the point. You step in weak, unsure, and with a mind full of reasons not to. Because starting isn't about confidence, it's about courage. It's walking into the unknown with nothing but willingness and figuring it out as you go. Every time you show up unqualified, it becomes more clear. You'll never know what you're capable of until you start.
Your brain is changing. You are changing. Every day you are being shaped by the experiences you live, the knowledge you learn, and the decisions you take. But is this constant change making you the person you want to be, or slowly pulling you away from who you are meant to become? You can become the person you want to be, but it all depends on how you understand life.
There's a version of you that never sleeps in, never skips training, never wastes time. There's a version of you who never fails. It is waiting for you. Genuinely ask yourself a question, you at home. If you had done those things for the last 2 years, you never skipped a training, you never wasted time, you never scrolled TikTok, you never sat aimlessly on the internet typing garbage, never played video games, you never wasted time. You never skipped training, you were training every single day. You never slept in, you were never lazy. There's this version of you. Imagine the person you would be. Genuinely imagine what you would look like. Imagine where you would live. Imagine the car you would drive. Imagine how much your woman would respect you. Imagine the love you would see in her eyes when she looks at you with adoration like a king. Imagine your existence. That person is waiting for you, and the only thing that's stopping you from being that person is your monumental laziness. You can have it. The universe is very giving. It will give you anything you work for. I've never seen somebody try for something with all of their might and not get it. The only people who do not have the things they want are the people who do not try for them. I've never seen a person wake up and say, my only dedication in life is to solve a Rubik's Cube and fail. You are not stupid. You are not incompetent. You are lazy and arrogant. It's extremely important you understand that that person is waiting for you, and you are declining that version of yourself. In the multiverse, in the many different versions of the universe that exist, there is a version of you that does those exact things, and he is a greater person than you can even fathom. You can transform yourself into that guy. You can be a top G. That's exactly what I did. I knew who I was going to have to end up being before I became that person. My brother and I are not from rich families. We are not from advantaged beginnings. But I knew I had to be a big, strong, fighting billionaire. That's what I knew I had to be. Discipline is the key to success. If you cannot force yourself to do something you don't want to do, how are you ever going to put yourself through the suffering required for greatness? If you cannot force yourself to train when you do not want to train, if you cannot force yourself to work when you don't want to work, if you can't force yourself to not log into Pornhub or force yourself to eat right, how can you possibly ever become a monumentally successful person if you cannot control yourself long enough to do what must be done as opposed to what you feel like doing? The only people who get to live their lives based on how they feel are women and children. Children can cry because they feel like crying, as can a woman. A woman can start an argument because she feels like arguing, as can a child. A man must do what he is supposed to do irregardless of how he feels. That is the key component to masculinity, is discipline. If you do not have the discipline to dedicate yourself to anything, you are going to fail and be crushed by the people who can. If you only go to the gym when you feel like going to the gym, you're never going to be as strong as the people who go to the gym when they don't feel like going to the gym. That is a reality of life. So, I train every single day. I've actually heard from some people saying, you overtrain. And I explained to them, one, I don't believe in rest. I'm not you. I'm not Nipsey, and I'm not broke like you are, Mr. Fitness Trainer, standing around the gym teaching people for $50 an hour. I don't need to listen to you. Secondly, I don't train because I want to get bigger. I train every day because it is difficult to train every day. It hurts. I don't want to. I wake up and I'm busy. I have other things to do. I don't feel like doing it, so I force myself to do it 7 days a week, 365 days a year, so that I know I'm the kind of person who can do what he doesn't want to do when it needs to be done. I am that man, and it is more of a mental exercise than a physical exercise at this point. How can you ever outcompete me if I can force myself to do the things I don't want to do and you cannot? Discipline is absolutely essential for success, and you need to get very comfortable and very used to the idea of understanding that on your path to greatness, there are going to be long periods of time where you hate what you are doing, where you are dissatisfied with the actions you must undertake, where you are tired, where you are stressed. That is why it is difficult. That is why most people won't make it. If the path was easy, everybody would walk it and it would lead nowhere. 100 people start the path, 99 fall off because it is difficult, and the one person who makes it to the end gets the gold. If all 100 made it to the end and the gold was divided by 100, it wouldn't even be worth anything. The difficulty gives it value. The fact that it is difficult to do is the key component into the fact you want it in the first place. If it wasn't difficult, everyone would have it and you wouldn't want it because no one would respect it. It's supposed to be hard. Life is supposed to be hard. You're supposed to think this is terrible. You're supposed to suffer and smile through the pain regardless. Discipline is the key to success in all realms as a man. And if you lack it, you stand no chance. You can give most people a roadmap to success. You can give them a Ferrari with a full tank of gas, and a lot of people still wouldn't make the destination because they would say the drive is too far away. Quitters, they don't have the discipline. You can tell them exactly how to do it, you can give them the mechanism to get there, but they don't have the discipline to complete the drive and end up at the destination. That is the majority of Earth. This is your competition. People who, even if they are told what to do, and people tell them exactly how to do it and help them do it, still quit, still fail because they lack discipline. Even me, with my monumental powers, I can't make a quitter successful. It doesn't matter how good I am. It doesn't matter how easily I make it for them to succeed. It doesn't matter how continuous and concise and powerful the real world is. It doesn't matter how much I text them and motivate them, how many emergency meetings I do to try and talk to them and hype them up, how much motivation I give them. It doesn't matter what I do. If they are a quitter, guess what they're going to do? They're going to quit. No matter how simple the map is to read, no matter how fast the Ferrari is, somewhere along the drive, the sun's going to get in their eyes, and they're going to sit there and go, I don't like this is hard, and they're going to quit. Quitters are the number one type of people that nobody can help. If you're a quitter, I can't help you, life can't help you, God himself cannot help you quit. So if you lack discipline, you lack the very basic building block to any type of success which exists on the planet. By every single metric which can be measured with science, you are going to stay a loser and a failure. Key is to keep training. If you train hard every single day, you don't have to worry about low level violence. It's true. If you don't train and you don't smoke, you're still going to be a loser. Yes. The answer is always hard work. As soon as you are granted life, you are guaranteed death. What you do in between is up to you. You are all conscious. That could end tomorrow, that could end in 100 years. But the time between the beginning of your consciousness and the end of it is completely up to you. Training is never the wrong decision. If you're in jail, you should train. If you are free, you should train. If you are rich, you should train. If you are poor, you should train. If you smoke, you should train. If you don't smoke, you should train. If you drink, you should train. If you don't drink, you should train. You cannot escape that hard work is always the correct decision. There is no time in any scenario when working hard is going to be the wrong answer. You should always try your very best in all things. I will smoke 10 cigars a day and beat the shit out of them because I train harder than you can possibly fathom. Pain is an extremely important part of the equation. Pain is the elixir of success. When people say this bad thing happened to me and I'm suffering, I say good. It is pain which is required. It's one of the elements in the chemical reaction. And the chemical reaction requires 5 particular distinct compounds, and you have 4 and you're missing 1, it simply doesn't work. Pain for a man is one of the most important elements in becoming successful. Batman is Batman because they killed his parents. If they did not kill his parents, he would not be Batman. You're supposed to suffer. You're supposed to take that pain. The worst thing that can happen to you as a man is you live a life with no pain in it. To be born into a rich family and have a nice easy life and be given money, and you don't have to go to the gym and not have to train because you have bodyguards, and sit around like a fuck up. You're going to be miserable and unhappy and a drug addict buying prostitutes. You're only going to have women who adore you. You're only going to feel confident in yourself and feel happy when you've been through hell and come out the other side. The pain is required, and you'll often notice that people who are better than you are people who have suffered more than you have suffered. So, the person who is waiting for you, he requires your motivation. It also requires huge amounts of pain. So when bad things happen to you, do not sit at home and lament. Do not feel sorry for yourself. Instead, look in the mirror and say, thank you, God, for giving me one of the ingredients that is needed for the chemical concoction that is going to turn me into a superhero. Because pain is an extremely important one. In fact, it's one of the most important ones for a man. Everything is war. All of it. Sitting in the commute without losing your patience is war. Trying to find a way to escape your slave job is war. Keeping your wife happy and your children inspired is war. Training to become stronger than before is war. It is all war, and it cannot be avoided. And I'll tell you why it's war. Because war is 2 opposing sides trying to achieve the same goal. 2 opposing sides want the same land or the same influence over X land. And the car you want, the Ferrari, you're not the only person who wants it. The reason it's so expensive is because others people want it. The girl you want, the beautiful woman, everyone wants her. It is war. It is competition. Everything about life as a man is war. It is conflict because you are competing against the other men who want it the same. Which is why discipline is such an important thing. Which is why you must take the pain and add it to the concoction to become as formidable as possible. Life is war. This idea that you can go through life as a man and avoid war is probably the biggest mistake that most men make, because it is impossible for you to achieve anything significant without war. Running a business is war. Running a hotel, running a restaurant, running an online company, it's war. Training is war. Life as a man is war. You need to wake up and view it exactly as what it is. Everything I want, other people want. Everything I desire, other men are trying to get. This is a war, and I must outcompete them. That is the best possible mental model you can have. Even in jail, it was a war for who could stay most calm. A war who could control their mind the best. A war for who could suffer the least. That is war. I was surrounded by people who lost their minds and I refused. It was a battle and I was successful. Life in and of itself as a man is a never-ending struggle and a never-ending battle. It is the constant of the human condition. Evolution requires pain. While others complain that they do not feel happy enough, I'm happy I'm struggling. I don't want to be happy. I want to be great. This is the beauty of life as a man. Do you understand? I don't care. I'm happy to be struggling. I wanted to fight. You wanted to win. I wanted to fight. That's the difference. You're concerned with winning. I wanted to just fight. And we're fighting. That is the beauty of life as a man. To be great. If you concern yourself only with being happy, you are once again acting like a female or a child. Happiness is fleeting. It doesn't even matter if you're concerned only with the hedonism of happiness. You're going to drink alcohol and go to parties and go to festivals and take drugs. I want to be happy. Who cares? I want to be great. I want to be great all of the time. And let me ask you a question as a man at home, genuinely, truthfully. Would you rather be a loser who's always smiling, a happy loser, or would you rather be a stressed winner? Because I'll tell you something about winners. Most of them are stressed.
We are stressed.
We're stressed. Putin is stressed. Genghis Khan was stressed when his messenger turned up after a 4-week ride with updates from the battlefront of Iran. I'm sure he was stressed by what he read. Even if it was very good, even if it all looked fantastic, he started to feel stressed. Okay, well now maybe I need to go to Iran. How long is it going to take me to get there? Maybe we need to send more horses. Maybe we need to colonize Iran. He felt stress because the beauty of life as a man is to be great. So you have to sit here and ask yourself, do you want to be a happy loser that's insignificant? Nobody knows you exist. Women don't respect you. Men don't respect you. Nobody cares if you live or die, but you get to smile all the time. Or do you want to be one of the most important people on the planet with a little bit of stress? I am brilliant because I've decided to be brilliant. And if I have to sacrifice happiness to be brilliant, then that's fine. You know what the great thing about it is? You know what's amazing what God gives, how the whole world becomes full circle? If you stop caring about being happy and you start caring instead about being great, guess what you end up being? Great. Along with great. And you know what? Happy! You end up happy if you forget about happiness and try to become great. You will never be successful if you're concerned about being happy, so forget about it. I like to consider myself a wise old man, and I'm trying my best to encourage and instigate a revolution amongst the youth where men take absolute self-accountability and they believe in themselves and they take responsibility for absolutely everything. As a man, you are most formidable if everything is your fault. If it rains outside and you get wet, that is still your fault. Can you control the rain? No. Could you have brought an umbrella? Yes. You need to blame yourself for all things, the good and the bad. And by doing this, you take absolute self-accountability, which allows you to build a mental model in which you will find solutions, 1, to avoid trouble, because you know that anything bad happens to you is your fault, and 3, be the most fearsome competitor possible, because we're living in a very competitive world nowadays amongst the elites. The people who understand that you're living inside of a fish tank are trying very hard to get out, and you have to make sure that you can outrun some of them if you want to escape. It's an age-old adage. If a bear is chasing a group of people, you do not have to be the fastest one. You just have to be faster than the slowest. The slowest person is going to die. So as long as you're ahead of the majority of people, you stand a very good chance of avoiding slavery. Being a powerful man isn't always about furious anger and instilling fear. As enemies attempt to attack your energy and lower your vibration, understand this. Power is untouchable. Power may notice, but it doesn't care. Sometimes power is simply not giving a fuck. Being a powerful man isn't always about furious anger and instilling fear, meaning sometimes it is. You need to retain the capability to instill fear with furious anger. A man who cannot do that is not a man. It is one of the cards you need to have in your deck. However, more often than not, when you're in a true position of power, you will play the alternate card, which I'm describing here as simply not caring. How can you not give a fuck about things? So I'll tell you now. If you're filthy rich, and you have a strong network of people around you who you trust, and you have a good family, and you have beautiful children, you have women who love you, and you have beautiful supercars, you live with your best friends in a compound, you have armed guards, and you're proud of yourself, and you're strong, and you train hard every day, and you're monumentally successful, and all of your dreams come true, and if you want something, you can instantly snap it up. You want a Pagani, you want a Bugatti, you want a $25 million apartment, anything you want, you buy. It's very easy to not give a shit about the opinions of people who don't have one fraction of your success. And what these people are trying to do is drag me, I'm using me as an example, but we can also use it for you. When you have true power, they're trying to drag you down. They're not trying to elevate themselves. They're trying to drag you down, which is a very different thing. Because it's amazing how God rewards those who are trying to build and create and elevate, and how it punishes those who are simply trying to destroy and be spiteful and negative. And these people are going to dedicate hours and hours and millions of hours of their life towards a certain cause. To try and drag people down who they cannot affect because they're already too powerful and too large. And they're wasting their own human experience, and they're not progressing or advancing themselves in any way. They will stay brokies, and we will stay rich forever. So the lesson here is that you need to get to a position where ignoring people is a move in which you're guaranteed success. You can ignore people completely and they are benefiting you, and that comes from a position of power. And I think a lot of you at home right now, you may not be in our position, but if you're already working hard, you're already going to the gym, you're already training, you make sure that you're getting as much muscles as possible, as much money as possible, you're dedicated, you don't sleep in, you don't waste your time, you don't smoke weed, you don't play video games, you're focused on trying to become fantastic as a person. You can just ignore that girl. That girl who broke your heart or cheated on you, just ignore her. The most powerful move you can make is ignore her. Yeah, you could yell at her, yeah, you could try and make her scared of you, blah, blah, right? That's not gonna work. The powerful move is just to completely ignore her, because you're on your ascent. She is likely on her descent. She likely has no intention of improving herself, no intention of becoming richer, no intention of becoming better looking. Time is against her. As she gets older, she's going to lose her looks. You're going to continue your ascent, and she's going to have to watch you for the rest of her life be the man that she could have been with that she's no longer good enough for. The best thing you can do is simply ignore. That is the powerful move. And it's the same with also men. It's not even a gendered argument. There's men who want to be your friends right now, who wanted to be your friend, and they did something wrong to you. And if you're on the right path doing the right things, karma, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is going to teach them a lesson for simply failing to be a good person to you while they had the chance. But when you have a whole bunch of money, you take care of the people you love. And that's the masculine prerogative. And even my brother and I, anyone who's been loyal to us, who's on our team, we monumentally reward. And everyone who ever displayed cowardice or sold us out or made mistakes, massive.
Don't be somebody who has achieved greatness. And if you pull up their past, I promise you'll see some failures and some lessons learned. If we can change our perspective on failure, our lives will never be the same. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough. Stop telling yourself you don't have what it takes. If you want your future, get up now! I'm getting up. And I'm gonna do this again. I'm getting up and I'm gonna try this again. And I'm gonna try it again. And I'm gonna try it again. I was made to walk in purpose and to fulfill destiny. I was not created for the prison of fear.
Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently.
It's an emotion you can't fake. If you fake bravery when you're terrified, that is bravery.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable.
Winning will cost you everything, but will reward you with so much more. It's going to cost you everything.
Courage is something that rubs off on other people. I think it's enormously to be desired to be around courageous people. And there might be different types of courage, some a bit physical, some a bit mental. Surround yourself with courageous people, or at least not cowards, not cretins, not the sort of people who just say the same things that everyone's meant to say. So there's many ways people can get out of this non-life that they are being shunted into.
Can you do what is required to fulfill your purpose? Can you do what it takes? Can you implement? Can you execute? Are you disciplined? Are you principled? Do you possess courage to walk in purpose and to fulfill your destiny?
What would your life be like if you decided to become courageous? What would your life be like? If you decided to act on your dream, if you did what you felt in your heart. You know what courageous means? Courage comes from a French word which means of the heart. You know, it takes courage to live. Since most people go through life not allowing themselves to step out because they don't want to let go. They don't want to be blown around. They don't want to be moved. The courage to face life's whirling wind of contradictions. The courage to love yourself. The courage to take a chance. The courage to be who you are.
Be steadfast, immovable, always abounding. Be brave, be strong. Come out of the dark and into the light with everything that you have. Run after it. And you keep giving, and you keep pouring, and you keep believing, and you keep pushing.
It is not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who comes up short again and again and again, who, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly.
Please, listen to yourself. You know the feelings. If you start listening to the feelings in your heart, and I'm doing it now more every day, I find that my feelings, I can trust them. And I say to you, that as you look toward the future, you look at life on a daily basis, if there's something that you have been given, if you've heard something within yourself that you know that what you're doing now doesn't fit for you, it doesn't work for you, it's not giving you what you want, and there's something else that you want to do, don't allow that inner doubt in you to talk you out of it, to build a case on why you can't have it, to tell you why you're not good enough. You ignore that inner voice and all of the external voices. Don't judge the possibilities for what you can do based upon the circumstances, because the circumstances unlimited if you're coming back from adversity and devastation. It's unlimited of what you can do. That's the capacity of human beings. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. Doesn't matter how many flops you've had. Doesn't matter how much money you've lost. In fact, I see it only as an investment of what you learn from life. Not losses, but investments of what's possible for you. Once you start listening to yourself, and as you begin to act on your dream, as you start just trying to find your way, doing what you can with what you have, you will start seeing things opening up for you. You'll start attracting people. You say, where'd it come from? Things will start coming together, clicking for you. You say, whoa. You start brainstorming. Ideas will come out of nowhere as you focus on it. The key to it is to begin to focus, because as you focus on that which you want to do, that which we focus on, that which we give our energy to, it will begin to multiply. It will begin to expand. It will begin to develop your consciousness. And out of that comes your greatness. Out of that comes a commitment. Out of that comes a passion for life. Out of that comes a special power that you have in you that you haven't even called on yet. See, the powers that we have will never reveal themselves if we don't challenge them. If we don't put ourselves in a position where we have to use them. And the guy said, put yourself in a position where you can't retreat. Where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skills. Or swallow half the pool of life. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you become more creative than ever before. All you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is enough. Make sure you do all you can do. So as we look at the future, we can decide that from this day forward, as I look at my personal relationships, if I look at my professional relationships, if I look at my family relationships, if I look at all the dimensions of my life, looking at myself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I'm going to do all I can do to develop me, to bring my talent out here, to make a contribution to life. Here's what I know about you. You've got greatness within you. As you look toward the future and developing your greatness, begin to know that your life is worth the effort. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
You might have failed in the weight room, and you might have failed financially, and you might have failed in school, and it doesn't matter where you fail. I need you in this moment to get up and try again.